A little about me. I used to be a workaholic, but it wasn't healthy for me, so I'm now just a regular alcoholic. The days go by quicker and I can still work remotely. But honestly, that's how stressful jobs can be though. It can even make you lose your hair. And now with all the money you're saving on haircuts, it's just going towards bottles of wine. I'm personally stressed because there's a lot of layoffs in tech, which is the industry that I'm in. Bosses are obviously trying to keep their employee motivation up amid all these layoffs. But the only thing they're motivating me to do is update my resume. Suddenly, company-wide announcements feel more like the Hunger Games. Are you going to be the unfortunate tribute picked to fend for yourself? To survive the harsh landscapes of LinkedIn, where besides your open to work posts are your high school friends' humble brag posts about their promotion? No one cares about your promotion, Steven. You work for your dad, okay? It doesn't count. Of course, it could be worse. It could be like your old classmate Jenny, who doesn't realize that her LinkedIn post about her self-employed job is a multi-level marketing scheme. No, Jenny, you can't tell people that they'll make money guaranteed. The only guarantee is I'd never see my money again. And that's the problem with jobs. It's something that we need, but not something that we want. Like a prostate exam. Both are literally a pain in the ass. So what are the alternatives then? Well, we could start our own business, become an entrepreneur. Did you know that entrepreneur is a French word? It roughly translates to person who is still able to ask their parents for money. The problem with being an entrepreneur is that most new businesses fail. So the difference between an entrepreneur and a failure is 12 months. I've tried to be an entrepreneur myself. I'm technically still trying now with this YouTube channel. Instead of being a slave to a boss, I'm willing to be a slave to the YouTube algorithm. I'm basically trading one boss for another, but at least as a YouTuber, I don't have to subscribe to daily team meetings. I mean, really, how helpful is it to be in a meeting every day, telling Eddie that we can't hear him because he's on mute? What the hell, Eddie? It's been 3 years since we started working from home. And if you're gonna keep adjusting your webcam like that, you are making it too obvious that you're in your underwear. Especially when you go to answer your ringing doorbell in the middle of the meeting, and we get to see your leopard print underwear again. Then Eddie comes back to the call all flustered, apologizing for stepping out, while looking like a little bit of an idiot with his Zoom background. No one believes a spaceship is a work-appropriate background, Eddie. Honestly, this guy is a couple of clicks away on LinkedIn from stumbling onto one of Jenny's guaranteed money posts, and there's nothing we'd be able to do to save him from himself. I mean, if Amway and Herbalife are the answers, then what the hell is the question? But that's the thing about jobs. There's a lot we have to put up with because it's the easiest way to pay our bills. Just remember, you don't actually work for your company. You work for your manager. Let me explain what I've come to realize. It doesn't matter how good a job you're actually delivering for your company. If it's not what your manager wants from you, your manager controls your fate in the palm of their hands, like Thanos with the Infinity Stones. You could be doing a great job remotely. But if you're out of sight, while your colleague Paul is in the office, laughing at your manager's bad jokes and accompanying him on his smoking breaks, then promotion for Paul. Wait, what? Paul? Paul got a promotion? Paul's an idiot. Paul will get fired from the M&M factory for throwing away all the W's. It has taken me far too long to realize that our entire job satisfaction is to our manager's discretion. So I guess if I want to make more YouTube videos, I better keep using fake names. Now, I actually do like my job and the people I work with, and that is important because we spend more time with our colleagues than we do with our families these days. At least with our colleagues, if we don't like them, we can just switch them for new ones with a different job. Our families though, a week on holiday with your family is always a good reminder that you can literally have the same arguments for decades. Holidays with families were best when we were the kids and we had no responsibilities. We'd literally show up, our flights, accommodation, food, and entertainment paid for, and we'd still have the audacity to complain about having to share a bed with our sister. I've said to my dad that I don't know how he did it. Taking 3 kids on holiday must have been so expensive as well. You know what he said? He said, Mustafa, that is why you must have children, so you can appreciate everything I have done for you. That's the reason I should have children? Okay, yeah, that's definitely something an African dad would say to continue promoting his legacy as the head of the family. My dad's a doctor, so I can hardly argue with him about what he's achieved in his life. But it does make me wonder, as someone with no kids, why people with kids still put up with family holidays. I see these stressed out families at the airport, and I'm actively avoiding them as if their stress is contagious. You work hard at your job, put up with Eddie in his leopard print underwear, just to go work full-time at your other job as a parent, this time in a foreign country in which you don't speak the language, with screaming kids who won't eat the local food, and a phone that keeps going off in your pocket because you still need to stay on top of your emails. And I have so much respect for parents. Not empathy though, I mean, they chose this life after all. No, I think I should be careful about what I say, otherwise karma will definitely come back and bite me in the ass. We really should all take a second to thank our mothers and fathers for everything they've done for us. They may not be perfect, but they did the best that they could, and that's all we could really ask for. Yeah, trust fund would have been nice so that we didn't have to have a job, but okay, giving life is good enough. I'm looking forward to the time when I can buy my parents a business class flight from the UK to Singapore on their next holiday. They've never flown business, and neither have I, and I'm sure they'll definitely be flexing to the air stewards that their son paid for their seat. And why not? Let them be proud. It's not as if their business class flight was paid for by a multi-level marketing scam. I mean scheme. Oh no, wait, I meant scam. Maybe this is all life is supposed to be. A journey from one generation to the next. Our parents trying to give us something they never had, and then we try to give it to them and our kids something we never had. Kind of beautiful when you think about it in that way. Maybe the highest probability way of doing that is having a job. There is no perfect job, just like there's no perfect parents or kids. I'm certainly no perfect son. One time when I was 6, I took one of those polystyrene blocks, which work as padding and boxes for TVs and computers. I broke a couple of balls off of it, little tiny ones. I put them in my ears as earmuffs, and yeah, they got stuck there. My poor mother had to take me to A&E at night so they could suction it out of my ears. And that's a story with a happy ending. And again, if the purpose of each generation is to make it better for the next, then shouldn't jobs be included in that conversation? Shouldn't we be striving towards having better jobs, better careers, where that's working for someone else, being a freelancer, or starting your own business? Is it really acceptable just to grin and bear it when it comes to the stresses of having a horrible job, which we've now effectively concluded means having a horrible manager, like Ellen DeGeneres? I remember reading in So Good They Can't Ignore You by Cal Newport that before we can expect our jobs to be good to us, we have to be good at our jobs. It's supply and demand 101. If you want something in high demand, a good job, then we have to be able to offer something in low supply, the skills that deliver at that good job. The same applies if we start a business or want to be successful. What are we bringing to the table that others are not or cannot? When we now live in a world where the office commute has changed from the seconds it takes to get from your bedroom to the living room, it is natural that would make us question the purpose of real life commuting. And since that paradigm has now been broken, we're also now questioning what else have we accepted as the way it's always been done with jobs. Do we really need to have company newsletters if no one actually reads them? Do we really need to sing off key at every colleague's birthday and eat store-bought cake? Whether we want to or not, there is a game being played, and we have to decide whether we're going to be the ones to play this career game of climbing the ladder, or playing the game of office politics to stay in the right people's good graces. Personally speaking, I'm starting to realize that I need to commit to playing these games or not. Otherwise, I'm going to get left behind by those who are not distracted by pursuing side hustles as I am. Most of you watching this video have a job, and most of you could definitely see yourself doing something for yourself. I hope you're not discouraged because you're not seeing the success you would have hoped for yourself by now. I mean, I'm 35, and when I was 18, about to go to university, I definitely thought I would have been a multi-millionaire running my own company by now. But that doesn't mean my career hasn't been a good one, or that I've not accomplished meaningful things or been successful in my life. It just means it's harder than I thought it would be to have a lot of money. And if I want to be financially independent and practice the FIRE movement, it will take a bit longer than expected. Which is fair. I was only a child when I was 18. I didn't know any better. Perhaps a lot of you can relate to what I shared. If so, I wish you best of luck on your journey too. I would say not to be too hard on yourself though, for not being able to predict the future when you were a teenager. As long as you're still in the game, learning skills, applying yourself, putting something regularly out there into the world, then the odds will keep increasing that something will eventually stick for people like us. If it doesn't, there's nothing wrong with that either. No one has the right to make you feel like a failure just because you don't drive a certain type of car, wear a certain type of watch, or have a certain job title. Yes, it would be cool to make our own money full time, and we may still one day. But there's also pride to be taken in working a job that helps support you, your family, and you get to learn new skills and to progress in your career. I think jobs are great for a lot of things. It's fun seeing people who you like every day, and it's brilliant when things are going well and everyone is getting to enjoy it and reap the benefits together. But also, if it all goes tits up and pear-shaped, then that's the best thing about working in a team instead of yourself. There's always someone else to blame. Hope you enjoyed this one. Peace. To survive the harsh landscapes of LinkedIn, where beside your open to work posts are the To survive the harsh landscapes of LinkedIn, where beside your open to work posts are All right. Try doing this. Let's try again. Should have shaved. It's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay. Bring the energy. Here we go. Cool.